Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got one straight out of Lebanon, Missouri, which is very, very close to St. Louis, Missouri, where I am doing this podcast and this YouTube video and TikTok video. This is another case of a married couple that were having problems, and then one of the spouses decides that instead of getting a divorce, they want to get rid of the person by committing what you would believe to be a very heinous crime. But fortunately and unfortunately, the wife that has allegedly tried to poison her husband failed, and he did not die. And the way she got caught was that her husband was videotaping her trying to poison him in the refrigerator, in a soda bottle that was in the refrigerator in the garage of their home, and he had video cameras as evidence. So here we go. Lebanon, Missouri woman accused of spiking husband's Mountain Dew with weed killer and insecticide. A Missouri woman accused of spiking her husband's Mountain Dew with Roundup weed killer and insecticide repeatedly to be mean to him has been charged with multiple felonies, authorities say. Michelle Y. Peters, 47, of Lebanon, is accused of secretly putting Roundup in the 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew her husband stored in a garage refrigerator during May and June. On Sunday, she also allegedly laced the beverage with insecticide, according to the Laclede County Sheriff's Office, and a redacted probable cause statement of facts filed this week by the Sheriff's Office. Peters was arrested Monday and formally charged by county prosecutors with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Both charges are felonies, court documents said. She was being held on a no-bond Friday afternoon at the Laclede County Detention Center, a representative of the jail said. It was not immediately clear if Peters had an attorney. On the day of her arrest, Peters told authorities she was mad because she had thrown her husband a 50th birthday party and he was not appreciative, according to the probable cause statement. Michelle said she believed the chemical in the basement was Roundup when she put it in the Mountain Dew bottle and did so to be mean. Peters initially told the detective she was not putting Roundup in the bottles of soda, but was mixing Mountain Dew in the Roundup to use as weed killer, an idea she said she saw on Pinterest, according to the probable cause statement. But she later admitted to putting insecticide in a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew that she placed in the garage refrigerator, the probable cause statement said. The sheriff's office said it had video evidence of Peters tampering with the Mountain Dew bottles. The victim began suspecting the soda was being tampered with after feeling ill. This is her husband. The sheriff's office said in a statement. The victim provided video surveillance to the sheriff's office. So this is Michelle's husband. Peter's husband, whose name was redacted in the probable cause statement, told the sheriff's office detective that he drank Mountain Dew on May 1st and noticed it had an odd taste but continued to drink it. After a couple of weeks, he began feeling sick and experienced symptoms that included a sore throat, coughing up brown and yellow mucus, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, court records said. Roundup contains glyphosate and, if consumed, can cause increased salivary burns and pain in the mouth and throat, along with nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. according to the probable cause statement, which cited WebMD. Consuming the chemical has caused death on occasion, according to court records. Peter's husband, who also told the detective that on June 11th and 12th of this year, he drank a small bottle of Mountain Dew and it tasted normal. But when he drank the Mountain Dew from his home refrigerator, it tasted different. Peter's husband reviewed video footage from his garage on June 12th, which showed his wife taking a 2-liter Diet Mountain Dew out of the refrigerator and a bottle of Roundup into the house. The probable cause statement said, Michelle Peters then returned the soda to the refrigerator and put the Roundup back on the shelf in the garage. When Peters' husband told his wife that he was sick, court records said, she told him that he may have COVID. Peter's husband told the detectives he was unsure if his wife was having an affair or was trying to collect his $500,000 life insurance policy, according to the probable cause statement. Peter's husband said he did not suspect infidelity, but his wife had been reducing the amount of money she had been placing in their joint account from their business account. Detectives added Michelle Peters said she and her husband were having relationship issues. So this is another story of, we see P. Diddy all in the news with this DV, this domestic violence issue that he had with Cassie that was caught on video surveillance in a hotel. I talk about a lot of chaos and disruption that's taking place throughout our cities and our states, but there is a lot of chaos and disruption that's taking place within the four walls of many people's homes. And you're seeing an uptick in today's time where a lot of these couples, or many of these couples, or too many of these couples who are married, if they don't get along, things are not working out, having relationship issues, the oldest theory and thing to do in the book is get a divorce and move on. But we're having many couples, many spouses that are deciding to do diabolical and heinous things to their other spouse. I did a video on a case of a woman out of Utah who allegedly poisoned and killed her husband, and then wrote a children's book about her children and the loss of their father, which was her husband, and now she's being charged with murder. There are several cases. I did one out of Ohio where a judge was divorced, and he allegedly and was convicted of stabbing his ex-wife over 40 to 50 times in front of their 2 young children. There are innumerable amount of stories of individuals who feel like their backs are against the wall, and instead of logically trying to come to a resolution or dissolution of their marriage in the appropriate way through the court system, they are deciding to take life and death in their own hands. Luckily, this young lady got caught. Michelle Peters, 47. She still has another full half life to live if she can get to 100, and out of Lebanon, Missouri. And then she decides that she's going to methodically poison her husband, allegedly. However, her husband was smart enough and intelligent enough, and using his gut, his chakra, and his 5 senses to realize they've been having many problems, and now his Mountain Dew is not tasting right, and he's getting sick. And the first thing he thought about, well, maybe my wife is trying to poison me. And in many of these instances, when spouses are deciding to do diabolical and heinous crimes against their spouses, the first person that the police are going to look at is the other spouse. I did another story out of Minnesota where a doctor allegedly was trying to poison and kill his pharmacist's wife, a Mayo Clinic doctor. So it doesn't matter what your status is in life, what titles that you have, what you do for work, your outer appearance versus your inner appearance. Many people can give an outer appearance, and many couples do, especially on Facebook and other social media platforms, that everything is going well. In reality, on the inside, in those 4 walls and in the inside of their souls and hearts, things are falling apart. Well, the appropriate solution is, especially if you're married or if you're dating, get a divorce, move on, leave that person, and go continue to live a prosperous, positive life. I don't know what mental illness is a real issue. I don't know if Michelle Peters is mentally ill, or is there something that she's going through, stress and anxiety? Is at the top of the food chain for many people that can be debilitating, and sometimes people don't make the right decisions. Luckily, if this is true, Miss Peters got caught and her husband is still alive. But how does this traumatize their family? Michelle's family, now that she's been arrested for this, her husband's soon to be ex-husband's family, when he allegedly is being poisoned and trying to be murdered. And if they have kids, how is that going to affect their children? Lebanon, Missouri is a very small town. Gossip, rumor, and character assassination will run like a flowable river throughout that town. And Michelle Peters is going to be ran through the gamut and the dirt for this alleged allegation against her husband and trying to poison him. If she does not get convicted and does jail time, she will definitely get a divorce and have to move out of Lebanon and try to start a brand new life. Tell me what you think. This is another case of a married couple, where one spouse is deciding to end the marriage of the other spouse by committing a heinous crime and allegedly attempting to poison her husband and kill him. Is it over an affair? Is it over the insurance policy? Many times it could be a little bit of both. Money issues are always a part of this chasm of life that we're going through. The strain is being placed on the middle class, and sometimes people don't know or don't have the will to work through these thunderous issues and find a better way to navigate themselves. And sometimes you just have to move on from a person you either married, have dated a long time, had an invested interest in, and things sometimes don't work out and you have to move on. But attempting to poison your spouse to death is not the answer, and you're always going to be the first and initial suspect in a spousal situation. Domestic violence is a real issue, and domestic violence can present itself in various forms: verbal, physical, trying to poison a spouse. All that falls under the axiom of domestic violence. Tell me what you think on this case on Lebanon, Missouri woman Michelle Peters, 47 years old, who attempted to poison her husband by placing Roundup and insecticide in his Mountain Dew. And luckily he had video cameras in his garage, where she was going in the refrigerator in the garage and placing the insecticide and Roundup in his Mountain Dew, and she got caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive, righteous, and God-fearing way.